Hey, what's going on, roleplayers? It's the Bard here and welcome back to the corner. Sorry to keep you waiting for this, but at this time of year it's absolute chaos for me. Work is especially taxing. Regardless, however, I've not forgotten you and I am making time to bring you the content that you're asking for. So what have you guys been asking for then? I love these unconventional builds, but it'd be great if you gave guidance on level by level too. Also, I see so many Shaolin monks or DBZ type monks, I'd like to see a new style. Sure, I know exactly what you mean. Don't worry, monk is coming. The point, however, that I want to address is the initial part of the comment on the guidance on how to go level by level. I could, and maybe I will, do a little bit of level progression. The point, however, of the Unconventional series is to suggest what your character could be, not the route that you have to take. If it helps, I can throw in a few levels here and there, but what I want the Unconventional series to be is just a way that you can express your desire for creating characters in new and interesting ways. Some people enjoy playing characters that are purely based around the persona of the character, and their skills don't really reflect what's going on. In other cases, some people just like to optimize to the maximum and just get a lot of enjoyment from being the best and the strongest. Whilst neither one of these is wrong, the Unconventional series tries to take a little bit of both philosophies and put them together to give you a functional character that's also got a lot of theme as well. You make a valid point, however, so I'll put in whatever levels I deem necessary as and when. But realistically, when it comes to role-playing, it's the journey, not the destination. If you want to play what I've presented, then that's great, I really appreciate that. But how you get there can be just as much of an adventure as the campaign itself. This series is just a medium in order to get your creative juices flowing and get you thinking of new character designs and character concepts, whereas the classes presented in the book are simply tools to help you make the character that you really want. Essentially, it's not for me to dictate to you how to build your character, but if you like the ideas that are presented, take them and make them your own.
Do we want to get rocked?
So I'm quite aware that the concept of a barbarian and bard multiclass is a bit of a joke on the internet. It's the subject of various memes and jests and doesn't get taken seriously as a character. But even groups of barbarians and waves of orcs and goblins usually have a hornblower or something of some description in order to signal the charge. Barbarian and Bard are often considered to be fundamentally incompatible classes, mostly because Bards concentrate quite heavily on their spellcasting, and the Barbarian Rage prevents that. The useful thing, however, about the Glamour Bard is that it gets the Mantle of Inspiration. This is an ability that doesn't require concentration, and in doing so it grants temporary hit points and the ability to move the rest of your party members. Combined with the Totem Spirit of the Wolf, it allows your party members to attack with advantage. This gives you a quick and dirty early combat boost consisting of offense, defense and mobility. Start off your levels in Bard and your party can enjoy the safety of those temporary hit points. Then as you want to get more aggressive, you can then move into Barbarian. This setup is great for a party that's comprised mostly of melee combatants. This character works well for combat focused games, so if there's a lot of dungeon exploring going on and a lot of monsters on the attack, then you've got loads of benefits that your party can take advantage of. You don't need any particular kinds of feats to make this work, so you can get everything you need from the class basics alone. If you don't need those ability score improvements and you don't need any particular kind of feat, then why not look at some of the racial feats just to give you a few more layers of depth to your character. Once you've got those initial Barbarian and Bard levels under your belt, a few more levels of Barbarian can open up the fast movement for you. This is where your Barbarian levels and your Bard levels actually start to complement each other, in the sense that your Mantle of Inspiration allows the party to move, as well as having those temporary hit points, so being able to keep up with the rest of your party a really good thing. So having that extra movement is great. You also get access to the extra attack, which is always nice for a combat focused character. Your Feral Instinct works really nicely as well, because you get to then go first most of the time. Because you have advantage on initiative rolls, this allows you to set up your Mantle of Inspiration for the rest of your party if they need it, or you can go straight into a rage if necessary in order to get the combat over with quickly. Even if you don't plan on going into a rage at all, it still gives you that early initiative that allows you then to use some of your bardic spells to control the battlefield as you would like to. From here, build the character as you like. If you want more combat, take more levels in Barbarian. If you want more bonuses from your Mantle of Inspiration, then consider upping your Bard levels. Barbarian and Bard absolutely can work together. Even though it doesn't have the most options available to it, it's still really good at what it does. The Savage Balladeer is exceptional when it comes to inspiring groups in combat, with the benefits of your wolf totem ability and your mantle of inspiration, it gives you everything a combatant would need, and you can spread it around the entire party to their benefit. There's also a strong nature-based theme running throughout the entire character. The barbarian itself is a very wild character, as well as the fact you've got access to totems for wilderness creatures such as wolf or eagle or bear. Combine that then with the glamour bard and its connection to the Feywilds, and not only have you got a character that's very good in combat, but you also have a character that's got a very strong theme running throughout it as well. I always think that one of the scariest things that a character can do is to have the abilities of a bard and have the authority to preach to people en masse. As such, I sometimes think that perhaps the preacher is less of a cleric sometimes and more of a bard, as they have a way with words that twists people in such a way that it can get them believing almost anything. A bard with a zealous devotion to a deity, or a bard perhaps masquerading as a prophet or preacher, is easily achievable with 6 levels of Lore Bard. This is quite a flexible character concept because you can go pure bard, or you can add in a couple of levels of cleric and get access to some of the domain abilities, so that you've got a particular focus on one aspect of your faith. Evangelist bards absolutely excel in this role of inflaming the righteous and condemning the wicked. This is something that can be represented by your bardic inspiration or your cutting words. Lore bards find it so easy to masquerade as a follower of a faith. For starters, they get access to spells that the clerics get as well, such as Cure Wounds or Bane. They can then use their magical secrets to get higher level cleric magic, which again they can use to continue their ruse. If you've gone for a genuinely faithful character, however, then your bard levels combined with a couple of cleric levels, as well as your magical secrets, can give you genuine access to all the spells that you would need. An example might be taking a couple of levels of Life Cleric to get the Disciple of Life ability. Additionally then, you might consider wanting to take Aura of Vitality. This gives you a themed ability then from the cleric list, as well as being able to continue to gain vitality based spells using your magical secrets. You also get a strong compound effect as well. Whenever you use a spell to heal, the spell heals additional points equal to 2 plus the spell's level. But considering you're able to heal every round for a minute, just using a bonus action, you're still using that spell to apply that healing. So you're still getting the bonus from Disciple of Life. In a similar vein, you might use your magical secrets to get access to Lightning Bolt, and then you might want to use the Destructive Wrath from the Tempest Cleric in order to maximize the lightning damage that you're dealing. Again, you don't need to have any particular feats to make this kind of character work. It's all based around the abilities that you already have. If you're going to progress using your bard levels, then you just want to continue on that route and just pick up any feats or ability scores or particular magical secrets that you feel are necessary to build the particular type of faith you're looking at. If you want to add in a couple of levels of cleric, then it's worth doing either after your first level or after your 3rd level of bard, depending on which abilities you want to have. So perhaps waiting until you've got access to cutting words before you start taking a couple of levels of cleric, and then continuing on with your bard progression from there. Evangelists travel the world proclaiming their devotion to a particular deity, pantheon, or religious doctrine. They're always seeking to convert others to their way of thinking and spread their word throughout the land. As such, you want to be using your oratory abilities as much as possible. So consider making full use of your cutting words and full use of your bardic inspiration. You want to really consider your social skills. Oration is supposed to be the most fundamental part of this character, so things like persuasion, intimidation, deception, these are the things you really need to focus on. The easy way to do that is to then apply your expertise to those skills, so that you are the best talker in the group. If you're playing with some new players who haven't got a really in-depth knowledge of what each class can do, then you might be able to persuade them into thinking that you're actually a cleric. See how long you can deceive the people at your table without giving away what you really are. Just do it in such a way that you're not trying to upset the people at your table. I always thought the Evangelist would be a fun class to play. It actually turned up in D&D 3.5 in the book Complete Divine. It's worth checking out, and it can give you some really good ideas on how you can play your false prophet or your devout follower. Evangelist isn't the only 3.5 class to make a comeback. It's also great to be seeing the Dirgesinger again. You know me, I always like a little bit of back and forth with the people in my comment section when I have the time to do so. So when I saw this, I was really into it. I'm using a Necro Lore Bard, getting Dance Macabre at level 10. The reasoning behind going Lore is that you get additional magical secrets at level 6, and that is used to grab both Animate Dead and Gentle Repose. Love it, love everything about it. The Dirgesinger appeared in a book called Libris Mortis, the Book of Undead. Dirgesinger's voice melodies not of celebration and joy, but of sorrow and grief. They seek to spread this melancholy outlook far and wide, believing that only those who give in to their sadness can truly understand the world. The character could be as simple as just the tortured artist, or something far, far worse. So dare you enter the tomb of the Necrodancer? So as we've already established, use your magical secrets to get hold of Animate Dead, Gentle Repose, Dance Macabre. These will be essentially what you'll need for what would have been the Dirgesinger's last ability, the Song of Awakening. Other abilities like Song of Grief and Song of Horror can be replicated through other things like spells and effects, so you want to consider spells like Fear. Back in the day, Fear was actually a necromancy spell, not the illusion spell that it is today. As such, it would ideally fit that necromantic theme that the Dirgesinger has. So fear, grief, sorrow, these are all themes that you want to be considering when choosing your spells. This makes Bane an excellent example, literally sapping away a creature's will to fight. Vicious Mockery is a great debilitating cantrip which can deal some damage and also impose disadvantage on the attacker. Dissonant Whispers is a good low-level spell to set you on the Dirgesinger path, afflicting creature's mind with grief and terror. Then use your remaining magical secret after you've picked up Dance Macabre to pick up a spell like maybe Phantasmal Killer, a spell that fuels creatures' nightmares and brings their deepest fears to life, or perhaps a spell like Enervation, allowing you to sap the life out of them. Cutting Words is your best friend and you want to be using it as often as possible. Not only does Cutting Words reflect the Dirgesinger's capacity for debilitating an opponent, but it also protects your undead by making your targets that much more incapable of hitting them. And of course, because Cutting Words is based on a reaction, you can use that when there's a call for initiative. Hopefully you'll drop your target's initiative score enough that your undead can get in there and start doing what they have to do before your target has enough time to react to the situation. Dirgesingers hold high positions in death-obsessed cultures, serving as members of a secret guild or a part of a hierarchy of death priests. They're often entrusted with the serious responsibility of composing a lament for the dead. As such, it would be worth investing in both the performance and the religion skills to reflect that. Additionally, being so focused on things like grief and sorrow as part of their arsenal, you want to consider skills like intimidation and deception in order to reflect that. Dirgesingers absolutely excel at controlling a combat. They also excel in social situations where they can control the conversation by dismantling an opponent's ability to use their words. The Dirgesinger works in a very similar way to a Whisper Bard. In fact, you could either go College of Lore or College of Whispers for your Dirgesinger. As it stands, however, you probably want to stick with the College of Lore. Having access to those cutting words can help to debilitate a creature's ability to either attack you or to use ability checks for things like intimidation or deception or persuasion, so you can really gain full control over every aspect of either a combat or a social situation. The Dirgesinger is an excellent concept if you want to get away from the typical bardic stereotype of jovial or jester-like, and it also fits in really well with certain scenarios. So if you're playing something like Curse of Strahd, for example, and you want to play a bard, then perhaps the Dirgesinger route is exactly what you're going to be looking for. Well, hopefully you guys enjoyed that and you've got some new ideas of how you might want to play your bard in the future. There's actually already an Unconventional Bard video which I did a very long time ago, so you might want to check that out also. Thanks also to all you guys who contribute to the videos by making interesting comments. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If so, leave a like. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, why not consider doing so? And always be sure to leave those comments down below, because some of those ideas are absolutely fantastic and they deserve to be made into videos. Big thanks to everyone who interacts with the channel. It's really great to have your support. Speaking of support, however, I've also got some good news. So for those of you who've been with me since the early days of 3-figure subscriber count, you'll know that I was demonetized back in February. Well, YouTube's finally seen fit to remonetize my channel and I can start earning ad revenue again. I suppose that's kind of fitting to happen in time for this video, being the unconventional bard that I am. Regardless, however, the money isn't important. It was never important. But what is important is the fact I got to keep making content, and that you guys were still there wanting to watch it. So I'm really grateful for that. So I want to throw out a big thank you to all of my subscribers, both new and old, who stuck with me all this time. It's been a great ride making these videos. I enjoy doing them so much. I really enjoy interacting with you guys in the comments, hearing your ideas, looking at your suggestions of what you want to see on the channel, because as I keep saying, it's not really my channel, it's your channel. So you are the guys who tell me what you want to see. So it's great to have that kind of interaction. Thanks again to all the viewers who helped make this channel what it is, and I will see you guys next time at the gaming table.